Hello everybody, this is Peeshu here, and today on Zubinology I'm going to show you how to make this yummy crock pot dish. Now this includes one of my favorite ingredients, which is beef, and the other is pumpkin. So these are the two main ingredients that I'm going to use in for this dish. First of all, take a bake tray. Place the brisket on the tray and poke the brisket using a knife or a fork on all the sides. Next step is to add in 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Now you need to add in 1 cup of brown sugar along with the following spices, which is 1 tablespoon of parsley, 1 tablespoon of basil, 1 tablespoon of rosemary, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1 tablespoon of salt. We would prefer for you to add in sea salt, but I didn't have any sea salt, so I added normal salt along with 1 tablespoon of black pepper powder. Now rub in all the mixture onto the brisket. Be sure to marinate all the sides and rub in all the sides of the beef brisket. Now this is the last bit of the marination, wherein you add in 1 tablespoon of paprika powder and 1 tablespoon of Cayenne chili powder. Now that you've added in all the mixture for this marination, be sure to marinate all the sides of the beef brisket properly. Now the final step to this marination is covering the bake tray with an aluminum foil and keeping it overnight or a maximum of 24 to 30 hours for marination. Now please do note, the more you keep it for marination, the more flavorful the beef brisket is gonna be. Now my next main ingredient for this whole dish is pumpkin, and for this we need to create a base, which is pumpkin soup base for this pulled beef recipe. For this you need 2 to 3 cups of pumpkin pieces cut in cubes. And besides this, after you've completed 24 hours of marination of the beef brisket, make sure that you pour in the juices all over the brisket once again before you place in the baking tray. Now before you place in your baking tray into the oven, please rub in a little bit of garlic granules all over your beef brisket so that you get that extra added flavor, and now you can set in your baking tray and bake away. In the meanwhile, we are going to prepare our pumpkin soup. Now for this you need 2 green chilies sliced or chopped, 1 to 2 tablespoons garlic chopped, 1 tablespoon of ginger chopped, and a whole lot of spices. Now these spices are half tablespoon of nutmeg grated, 1 tablespoon of basil, 1 tablespoon of parsley, 1 tablespoon of tarragon, 1 tablespoon of rosemary, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of Cayenne chili powder, and 1 tablespoon of paprika. Now that your beef is actually baked in the meanwhile, now everything has to be multitasking. So now take a pressure cooker and place your beef brisket into it along with a little bit of stock and some water, and pressure cook for about 8 whistles until the beef is gentle and tender. You can add about 1 to 2 cups of water along with 1 cup of the marinated stock that we had, and please do add in 1 to 2 tablespoons of beef stock powder into the pressure cooker for that added flavor. Now while your beef is fizzling away in the pressure cooker, let's prepare the pumpkin soup. Now take a cast iron crock pot or a deep pan, add in few tablespoons of butter and add in the garlic, ginger and green chilies, chopped onions, and saute for a few minutes until the onion softens. Now along to this, ensure that you add in 1 tablespoon of salt, black pepper powder, sugar, and saute for a few more minutes. Now you can add in the cubed pumpkins, saute for a minute or so before adding 2 to 3 cups of water and let it boil away. Now after you add in water to this pumpkin mix, you can always choose to add in half to 1 cube of chicken stock for that additional flavor. So after you add in the chicken stock, you can close the pot with the lid and let it boil away for a few more minutes. Once the pumpkin is soft, add in 2 cups of cooking cream before you blend into a puree, or you can do it even after. But ensure that you use a blender to purify your pumpkin so that it becomes into a soup consistency. So I add in 2 cups of cooking cream onto this pumpkin soup mixture. Now you can add any kind of cream you want, to fresh cream, to cooking cream, to even milk as such. But I love using cooking cream because it gives me that thick consistency. So after you've added the cooking cream, ensure that you have to blend it really well. It has to be in a purified form. Now add in all the spices, which is basil, parsley, tarragon, rosemary, garlic powder, Cayenne chili powder, paprika. You can use any kind of spices you want in this, because the pumpkin soup itself has an amazing flavor by itself. So it doesn't matter if you add in no spices at all you need is just salt and pepper, it's good to go. But I love adding a little bit of herbs and stuff for my soup, so this is what I've added in so far. After this, you need to take out your pressure cooked beef and pull it apart with 2 forks so that it comes out gently. Now you need to be sure that your beef is tenderly cooked, because if you're using 2 forks to pull it out, it has to come out really gently. My last step for this whole process and method is pan frying the pulled beef. Now the pulled beef, once it's pressure cooked, it's actually very soft and very juicy. So I like my soup topping to be a bit more crispy. So what I do is I take a skillet or a pan and I add in 1 to 2 tablespoons of butter, and I add in the pulled beef and saute for about a minute or 2. And following which I add in 1 cup of cooking cream so that additional flavor comes out of it, and then that's when I add in the stock. If you have an additional stock in your pressure cooker, do add 1 cup of it to your skillet and let it pan fry away. And to this mixture, I add in some Cayenne chili powder, paprika powder, black pepper powder, and saute until all the liquid has been dried up. So once the liquid has been dried up, this is perfect enough for your topping. And the last step to the whole procedure is plating. I love plating. And now you need a nice soup bowl. Pour in your pumpkin soup mixture into it. Top it with some olive oil, some cream. Add in some leaves. I love rocket leaves. And then finally top in with your pulled beef, your fried pulled beef. Trust me, this is so yum. I don't know if you call it healthy or it, but I just love it. It just fills me up. I'm sure you guys will enjoy this. Do try it anyways. Thank you. So everybody, this is my take on a yummy pumpkin soup base topped with slow cooked pulled beef. So do try this. This is really yummy. So I hope you guys loved the video. Do follow my Instagram handle, which is Peeshu_boo. You have some amazing recipes out there, and I hope you enjoy the visuals out there. Please don't forget to subscribe to Zubinology on YouTube, and his handle is Zubinology as well. So I'll see you later. Bye bye.